adults can do things teenagers can't.
Yeah, age limits and things like that. Teenagers usually are a bit lazy, sort of a lot more lazy than adults, and yeah.
We don't get as good a reputation.
Yeah. Just because can't be bothered. Probably, I don't know. No,
Too busy using their energy growing.
Yeah.
Teenagers have more fun.
And they don't have as much common sense.
I think a teenager got more energy than adults. So they burn up a lot of energy. The adults say like the adults is more smart though, but the teenager like they know stuff like every day because they are adventurous in it.
There's obviously teenagers go through a lot of stresses at the moment, particularly when you get to 17, 18, A-levels, is under a lot of stress, and they're being put through that alongside having massive changes to their body and their hormones. So they struggle, certainly a lot of teenagers struggle with stresses and strains of that.
Well, teenagers seem to have it a lot easier than adults. We can just go out and enjoy ourselves, while adults actually have to do something during the week and they have to go to work. And I've just been doing work experience at the Rutherford Appleton Laboratory, and it's 2.5 hours each morning travelling up there. So I've kind of got into the whole being tired at the end of the day and just going to sleep.
We're cooler. Yes.
I think we do, but then in about 40 years we'll be looking at the younger generation, be like, I hate kids.
Because like adults today, if you're over 30, you grew up not thinking of computers as something far away, like biomechanics would be to us.
Would the word computer even exist?
Yeah. Exactly.
Depends on the environment you grow up in, really. And ours is changing quite rapidly. Quite. So that's the main reason.
They're meant. I mean, society gives them a place where they're meant to listen to adults, and that obviously is going to affect them in some will choose to, some will choose that they're not going to because they're supposed to. I don't think there's a huge difference. I think that society puts a difference on it. I don't know what that causes.
Well, I think quite possibly yes, because the teenage mentality seems to be lay in bed and just leave everything until the last minute. Adults seem more focused on work and, you know, bringing up a family. Well, the majority of them seem focused on work and bringing up a family. I'm not sure whether that's because they have more emphasis on that when they meet a partner and get together and feel that it's their duty socially to do that, and that teenagers don't feel the pressure and the need to do that. They want to be out there and have a good time, and that could be because their brain is slightly different, has different chemicals going through it because of the hormones and everything. But I think certainly over time you start to mature, and that can actually change the processes inside the brain to help you become more adult. I'd say past the age of about 25.
Adults are more developed in the brain. They pick up things faster than teenagers.
I'd say teenagers are developing, so compared to adults.
And adults think of the world differently towards the way teenagers do.
Teenagers are just...
They don't really know, but
like they think adults are control freaks. Like,
yeah.
But the thing that they don't know is that they're actually looking out for them.
Yeah, we just think that we know what we're doing.
Yeah, we know.
Like we think that we're right, but then we don't know our parents actually know.
When we grow up, then we'll know that we were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on the teenager.
Adults think they're better than teenagers.
Yeah, and I reckon we know a lot more stuff than adults do.
Yeah, adults look a lot down on teenagers, but teenagers are smarter than them.
I think adults think there are, but there aren't actually that many differences.
I think sometimes, with some younger people, they sort of, I'm not sure, sometimes their behaviour.
I think they're less socially aware.
Yeah, and so they are actually a bit childish occasionally. situations.
Yes, I think there are definite differences. It is quite hard to sort of pinpoint them. It's a kind of teenagers is kind of like, because I don't know to use the phrase life experience, but there we go. I don't know if it's anything particularly genetic, well not genetic, but is anything inbuilt to be like specific differences, because by the time you're like 18, 17, you're pretty much physically a bit the same as like a 30-year-old or something.
Oh, they're meant to be chemical differences or something in the brains of teenagers, which make them a bit weird. So yeah, that's definitely a difference. But I think we have a different perspective on life, and also because the world's always changing, we've kind of grown up with technology and things like that, and in the future there'll be new technology that the new generation will grow up with. So I think we're always going to be more open to new ideas in a way, because we're kind of like looking further than what we've got, whereas adults kind of, they've gone further already. So I don't know.
When we were asked that outside, we just said they were more fun and more interesting, but I suppose that's not true. I don't know what the...
I don't actually know what the scientific difference is. I suppose teenagers are still developing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mood swings and chemical imbalances.
Just a bit more crazy, but...
I don't actually know.
I don't mind being an adult too, so...
Wrinkles. I think probably teenagers have a lower attention span for the specific areas of knowledge. However, they also want to learn new things. So adults, I guess, are just more concentrated onto one specialist subject which they've learned for their lifetime. But whereas we are open to different areas and stuff, I think.
As teenagers are like beginning to explore the world,
learning.
We're still learning.